Commemoration actually started during the war. The first Anzac Day ceremony here in Tasmania, for example, in Hobart, was in 1916, on the 25th of April 1916, up with a temporary war memorial up near where the cenotaph now is. In 1918, in Hobart, citizens started planting trees on the domain as a memorial avenue to their soldiers. And in the 10-15 years after the war, communities right across the state raised money to build war memorials. So again, from the smallest community to the larger cities, they raised money, they got together, they'd have fundraising events, and they'd often work together as well to build war memorials to commemorate both the men who had served and the men who had died. And they were mostly men that they were commemorating. Only one Tasmanian woman died during the war as a result of her war service. And much fewer women, of course, served as nurses than men served at the trenches. You only have to look at the newspapers of the time to see what impact it had. You look at a Mercury, say after Pozières, and you have lists and lists and lists of casualties and deaths, men wounded and men who were killed. You read constant memorial poems that were inserted in the newspapers. You read just letters talking about, you know, the angst that people had from the death of their loved ones. This was community-wide. Whenever men returned from the war, during the war they were wounded, so badly wounded, huge crowds of people would come down to the docks to greet them, to welcome them home. The impact was absolutely enormous. I think it's very important for us to remember the impact that war had on communities. No one wants war. Everybody hates war. The impact of war was huge. With exhibitions such as this, visitors or people can come and have a look, they can read the stories, and they can feel the emotion, I think, that people felt at the time. Not completely the emotion, of course, but they can get some kind of empathy, some kind of indication of what people were thinking and feeling at the time. And I think in history, we don't want to repeat what's happened in the past. So I think by remembering these and reading these stories, it can help people to think, no, we don't want to go there again.